Yo, what it is, everybody? Welcome back. We're here with week 3 of the Shmokemon Draft League. Weeks are relative, I should probably specify. It's more like round-based, because once everyone's done with their rounds, we just start prepping for the next round that we do. It's not like a week-to-week thing. It's just like, a week is the unofficial term we're using. This week, it was the Duel of the Dylans. I got to play against my boy, the Dylan Raishi. His last name is not Raishi. That's an important distinction. Just what we refer to him as. Take a swig of my water here. And as you can tell right off the bat, he's got a rain team. So I'm gonna get into the prep. A couple of different things this week. The first thing that's different is I didn't put if I won or lost in the name of the teams. I put that I got a dub and I got an L when I was before I played the matches for the previous 2 weeks. The other difference is actually I have Dylan's draft right here as opposed to having it up on the Google Docs. Enrique started putting the draft of the other team into Showdown and just having it right there for side-by-side comparison, and I think that's really, really smart. So you take a look at Dylan's draft. You can see he drafted straight fire, literally. Like his draft's really powerful. He's got Pelipper, Kingdra, and Urshifu Rapid Strike. He's got one of the most powerful Rain cores in the entire game. Given I have a really powerful Sun core as well, with Torkoal Lizard, and you're gonna see I brought that to counter Rain. But obviously he had to bring Rain to counter Sun, so it was a matter of controlling weather. He also drafted 2 really strong steel types in Bronzong and Doublade. Doublade's a Pokemon I was particularly scared of him bringing. It's really powerful, and I don't have a lot that checks it outside of Charizard, so I have to be really patient with the mon. I have to be really careful. Flygon, another one, really scary, fast Pokemon. You just don't want to mess with it, especially if it's Scarfed. It could be Banded, it could be Specs, it could be Life Orb, it could be Hazard Control. There's so many things Flygon could be. It's so versatile, it's scary. Also scary, Kingdra. I didn't know what type of Kingdra he'd be bringing. He could have brought a special, a physical. Given I look at his team, right, and based off of his team composition, you can outright tell that his Kingdra and his Flygon are his only sweepers for it. But the difficult part was determining whether his Flygon was physical and his Kingdra was special, or his Kingdra was physical and his Flygon was special. And that was a pretty scary situation. Fortunately, I have Dragapult, which checks both of them pretty nicely. And then his lower draft picks are also pretty scary as well. Drapion was something I was absolutely terrified of him bringing, because if you look at my draft, there really isn't a lot that handles it. I have Slowbro, who just gets hit really hard with knockoff, and I have Skarmory, I guess, who could probably hard check it, but I'm not bringing Skarmory when I see that he has a Raichu and a Colossal, and Flygon for that matter. I wasn't feeling bringing Skarmory. I didn't think it was going to be the safest call for me. Admittedly, in hindsight, it wouldn't be awful, but if he brought the Raichu, which is not something that would be out of question because of Rain and being able to hit that Thunder, it would have been a situation that would have been really rough for him. He brought Colossal. This thing did beautiful work for him in last week's match against Enrique. He just very narrowly lost. But his hazard control was just phenomenal. He used both of them together, actually. And then there's the Porygon 2. This thing's terrifying. You have to have something with knockoff to even pressure it. It can be really tanky. It can be super offensive. He went for a more offensive download set, which I liked a lot. I thought it was an interesting take. He didn't have any recovery, but his coverage on it was pretty nice. He had a really nice spread. You'll see pretty much most of it. Shiinotic, this isn't something I thought he would bring, so I wasn't exactly prepared for it. But as you see, he did end up bringing it. It doesn't necessarily matter as much. It hard checks my Zorora, but my Zard kind of deals with it. It's just a matter of getting my Zard in on the Shiinotic, which was a little difficult. I was scared of Raichu. This thing's fast, it's scary, it does a lot of damage. I don't have anything that outright checks it on my draft other than my Zorora. And then Girder's also a really scary clown nose looking fiend with wonderfully powerful priority and super tanky. But yeah, I look at my draft, I see Clefairy and Zorara are the only things that really handle Raichu. I think I'm probably going to exchange Clefairy out for that matter as well when it comes to free agent week. But let's get into the team I made for him. It's kind of, you know, mandatory that he brings Aurora against the rain team. I knew he was going to prepare for this. You had to. So I got Cash with Aurora here with Magnet, Volt Absorb, and just your standard physical spread. Play rough to check the King Draw and come in. Switch ins, Plasma Fist with Magnet Boost to do just wonderful neutral damage. Close Combat to check Porygon 2 if he brought it, which he did. As well as Colossal, and then Knock Off to try and knock off Eviolites, because he does have 3 Eviolite Mons. My personal favorite set, I brought Eject Pack Torkoal with Rapid Spin, Stealth Rock, Shell Smash, Lava Plume. The idea behind this was if I had Torkoal out on something that it walled, and it had brought Sun out, the idea would have been I would Shell Smash there, kind of as a pseudo one-turn teleport with it, and in theory I would expect him to go into Pelipper, and I would Eject Pack out into my Hydreigon, or not to my Hydreigon, my Dragapult, which is great, and we're going to actually get right into it. The Dragapult in and of itself is really great, but, you know, max defense, max HP, just we wanted to be bulky, and I made sure to be pretty slow. I looked at his draft, and I didn't think there was anything that outslowed us, so I think we're fine just going bold. In hindsight, I probably should have been like, what is slow defensive? Weird. It's not impish. It's not sassy. Sassy spit up. It's relaxed. In theory, I should have been relaxed. So Cookie, the Torkoal, she makes her debut. She did really good, for what it's worth. And then we'll move on to the star of the show. Groon the Hydreigon. Oh my god, I'm gonna kill myself. Groon the, for legal reasons, that's a joke. Groon the Dragapult. Sorry, I was helping Justin just run over his draft, and he has Hydreigon drafted, so he's thinking about Hydreigon a lot. The Dragapult. And I ran a Special Bias Mix Scarf. This thing's scary. It's just so fast. It really is. I mean, Scarf Dragapult, timid max speed outspeeds Kingdra in the rain. And that's terrifying. That's a horrifying thing to think about. We went Infiltrator just in case he was a subset. And then we have Curse Body, Clear Body. These are options, but I think Infiltrator was the best way to go. We didn't need Curse Body on this. We got Curse Body and something else that did its job. Draco Meteor, Shadow Ball, Thunder U-Turn, a nice standard spread, did what it had to do. It's a great mon. You can't really front it. It's just so versatile. I hate Dragapult so much. Average Chungus, we brought him again this week. We brought him every week with the same set. This was the week that he was actually kind of irrelevant on. Actually, he was pretty bad last week too. I'm considering swapping him out for something. I'm not going to reveal as to what I am planning on, but know that he might be up for grabs. I really like this Pokemon, though. It is really hard for me to give it up because of just how nice it is. God, I love it. It's just such a fun Pokemon to use, and it heals up nice and just dots all its I's and crosses all its T's. It functionally is probably one of the best walls in the game, and just does what it needs to do. Great Fanta, the Corsola Galarian form. This thing is great. Can't really say anything else about it. I brought Haze just in case he was a setup set with Strength Tap, Knight, Shade, Willow, Curse Body, doing full specially defensive set because I didn't have a special wall. This is something I had considered swapping out with like a Scavalier come free agent week. We have a free agent week rule. We'll probably go over a quick video on that when free agent week happens. This thing, you know, performs modestly. I was content with how it worked out this week for us. You know, I can't be too disappointed. It served its role. It made me reconsider it heavily, actually. And then finally, I can go the Charizard. Spec Solar Power because rain, Sun, Solar Beam, Scorching Sand, just to hit with some ground types. You know, some movement. The idea would be like we'd catch the Drapion if he brought it. Still may not do as much as like a Stab Fire Blast. It's super nice to potentially get burns too. Fire Blast and Hurricane because Hurricane's 100% accurate in rain. I think it was overall just this team is super good at beating Dylan's draft, but his draft is also super scary. Like if he brought the Drapion, I think it might have been even closer. Because you're about to see, it's pretty close, just in general. So we'll take a look at the, we'll go right into it here. And I'm going to lead off my Dragapult, and he's going to go into Syndrome. Ooh, we're going way too fast, yo, let's go back. So I'm going to lead off my Dragapult, and he's going to lead off his Flygon. I kind of figured we both trade off fast leads here. I thought either Pelipper was coming out or the Flygon. And the idea would be just to catch the Pelipper with the Thunder. He immediately doubles out into the Bronzong, which I think is smart, as he knows I'm going to go straight for the safe Draco here. Just to get that damage off on this Liberty Bell, I'm going to double right into Cookie. This is the situation I was talking about earlier, in which we had the Torkoal out on a Mon that completely walls it. Or that it completely walls and also even pressures, where I'd get the chance to Shell Smash out and change up my pressure, like it's a pseudo teleport. And it works. He sets up a Reflect here, and he doubles out into the Flygon. I was hoping he'd double out into the Pelipper to try and get rid of my Sun. He was smart and recognized that he wanted to preserve his Pelipper for late game sweeping with the Kingdra, and this is a really good play on his part, I think, because I do double into my Dragapult here after I Shell Smash out. The Eject Hack proccing, sending me right into my Dragapult, which is great, because I am going to outspeed him because I'm Scarfed. I don't know if at this time he knows I'm Scarfed. I believe he said he was also Scarfed, if I recall correctly. So, I don't commit to any hard reads. I see this thing out here. I'm thinking I'm gonna just check it. I do understand where he's coming from with this next play, though. He opts to stay in here, and he takes the Draco, which is super unfortunate, but at the same time, Sun is out. If I drop a Fire Blast, I'm killing that Shiinotic. It's a 50-50. It's really scary, and it's super reasonable to assume that I have Fire Blast on a Dragapult. This thing is super scary, super strong. I've only revealed Draco at this point, but I've already revealed that I'm special, so it's a safe assumption on his part to assume that I have Fire Blast. And there's nothing on his team that really wants to take a Draco Meteor other than the Bronzong, and that doesn't want to take a Fire Blast. So it was a scary 50-50 for him that unfortunately he lost. And down goes the Flygon, which is great for me, obviously. Not so much for him. He goes right into the Pelipper. This is a great time for him to get the rain up, because I'm in disadvantage with my Dragapult. I'm spexed into Draco. He knows that. I'm going to double right into my Zorora, and he makes a double into his Bronzong, which I agree with. I knock off. You can see it does all of 2 damage, and he gets the body press off. This does a modest chunk to my Zorora, which is not good for me. This damage is unfortunate, as I have to double right back into my Corsola, and he gets up his other screen. I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to try and Willow the Kingdra if I thought it was going to come in. I never got to see what his Flygon was, so I could only assume that his Kingdra was physical, or the safest thing to do would be assume that his Kingdra is physical. He goes for Heavy Slam, which doesn't do as much because he's burned, but, like, if we take away the burn, that does, like, half, or that does, like, that does, like, 25%. That's a really scary amount of damage to my Corsola. So that burn is semi-important. And we were actually talking about it. I noticed he didn't get Curse Body there. I'll bring that up in a minute as to why that's relevant. And he makes the right call. He doubles out into this lovely Archibald, the Rubber Ducky, and doesn't get hit by my Nightshade. I'm going to take the opportunity to try and hit him with a Willow here. He actually goes for the Shadow Ball here, and he gets Curse Bodied. Now, from this point on, he gets Curse Bodied like every single opportunity he has the chance to get Curse Bodied, which is super unfortunate. I haze here, actually. Why did I haze? I don't even know why I hazed. That was a terrible play. I double back into Cookie here, and I get my my Sun up. He misses the Thunder, unfortunately. I don't think it would have mattered too terribly much, but as you can see, the Tri-Attack following probably would have killed. I think the Thunder would have put me in Tri-Attack range. His full set is Shadow Ball, Thunder, Tri-Attack, Ice Beam. And as much as I don't know if having Recover is the right move, like Recover over Thunder, I do also respect having Thunder, because it allows you to check the Slowbro and the Charizard right off the bat, and that's great for him. It's also a much stronger move than Shadow Ball, given he didn't have the opportunity to hit Shadow Ball. He couldn't hit me with Thunder Tri-Attack, so his best option there was to go for Thunderbolt, or Thunder, and I didn't expect him to have Thunder, or else obviously I would have doubled into my Zorora and healed. but I'm going to get my rocks up, and then I'm actually going to preserve this thing and go right back into my Corsola because I think he's going to go for another tri-attack, which he does, and he gets his disable ended, and he hits me with another Shadow Ball, and once again, he gets immediately disabled. 30% chance, by the way. I'm going to hit him with a Willow. He's forced to go for a different move here, unfortunately. He goes for Thunder. Actually, I take back what I was saying like 5 seconds ago about how a Thunder was going to put me in Wait, no, yeah, it might have put me in range. This is especially defensive. I'm sorry, this is a different Pokemon. Yeah, it would definitely put Torkoal in range. I take back. I Strength Sap, and unfortunately I'm basically back up to full, which is super duper bad for him. And I'm going to double into my Zora, expecting the Thunder. He goes for the Ice Beam, which is really smart on his part, recognizing that I'm at the situation. And he goes into this Shiinotic, and I get put to sleep by this thing's Effect Spore, which is really unfortunate. But I do knock off the big root, so he's going to get less recovery as he opts to try and finish me off here. Not finish me off here. He reads the switch correctly and goes for Spore. But unfortunately, because we're playing OU rule set, Sleep Cause is the deal. So of course, me being a homie, we homie the, I just go for Stealth Rocks again, just to homie, so we can, just homie away the Sleep Cause. Because, you know, we're not putting the entire team to sleep. We're not savages. We're gonna be running, just Smoke on rule sets. Same thing with, like, Dupe's Claws and whatnot. Or else, you know, maybe someone would have drafted. Or Species Claws, so on and so forth. So he goes for Moonblast here, and gets some good chunk off on my Torkoal. And I, you know, throw the Stealth Rocks out there. He doubles into his Kingdra here, and I double back into my Zorora. I'm asleep, and he goes right into his Porygon 2. I'm begging to wake up. I am not waking up. I begged once again to wake up. I do not wake up, and he finishes off my Zorora. And my Zorora basically did nothing this game, other than just soak hits for me. So I'm going to double right into my Charizard. I'm going to miss a Fire Blast, but he's going to miss a Thunder, which is critical for both of us, because I'm pretty sure either of those would have killed. I'm going to take the opportunity to set up my Sun. I double into my Torkoal, and I sack. He actually makes a really smart double, and he doubles into Pelipper, expecting me to do that. And he gets his Rain Up, which is bad for me. So I'm going to double right into Groon, and he's going to go ahead and Scald me. He doesn't get a burn, which is great. I'm going to go ahead and click U-turn because I think he's going to bring in the Shiinotic, which he does. And I do U-turn out, but because I made contact with him, I'm getting Effect Spored. He's gotten every Effect Spore opportunity as well, which is a bit of good luck on his side. But I've had good luck on my side, so I can't complain. I send out my lovely Cookie, and I get the burn on his Kingdra, which I'm pretty happy about until he reveals that he's special, and it doesn't matter anyways. So, that's another bit of good luck going my way. I'm going to send out Groon. I already know I'm in a good situation. I can just send off a free Draco here. I don't think he's going to go back into the Shiinotic at that low percent. And I'm going to do a good chunk to the Bronzong, and then I'll finish it off here with a second Draco. And now that Bronzong is going to fall to the Draco. I'm getting pretty low here, and he does have Toad's Worth out here, so I'm going to double right into my Zard as he opts to go for the Giga Drain, trying to recover. If he Spored there, I think he might have won out in this situation here at least. And he doubles into the Pelipper here, where I go for the Hurricane. I expected the Pelipper to come in and try and get the Rain Up now that my Torkoal is gone, but it shouldn't matter at this point. Now I'm going to go on my Corsola. I know he's special, so I'm not going to do that much. This is so unfortunate for him, because right here, if he didn't get disabled, he would have been able to kill my Corsola. Because he's choiced, you can tell by the damage that he's choice specs. He would have been able to take out my Corsola here, but because he wasn't, I just go for a Strength Sap, and I heal back up to full. And because he got the attack boost, I just return to full HP, and it's really, really bad for him. So he's gonna go and I'm gonna sack my Slowbro so I can get a free switch into something else and get some burn chip on this Rubber Ducky. I still think he's got Recover at this point, despite having him revealed all 4 moves, which is really sad. Another unfortunate instance of just bad RNG is he didn't get any special attack buffs from download either. That sucked for him. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this thing off with a Choice Specs Hurricane. As he's going to go right into the Kingdra, but it isn't going to matter. I'm going to double right into my Corsola, and my Corsola is not going to take anything. He gets disabled yet again. Is just the most unfortunate thing. It's a 30% chance. I'm going to go ahead and kill him off with Nightshade, and then I'm going to finish off the Kingdra here with yet another Nightshade, and take the dub. You could probably tell. Just to add the little fucking extra, just the little extra salt on the wounds, he gets disabled again. So just to there were I think 4 or 5 moves, maybe 6 moves that hit my Corsola. During that time, every single opportunity that he could have been hit with Cursed Body, he sans the very first time he hit me, he got Cursed Body, and it mattered a ton. Actually, on hindsight, it mattered so much. Not, like, he had some instances of good RNG on his part as well, where, like, he got, you know, double effect spore off of the 2 hits that were on his Shinotic, but the amount of bad luck that went with him, he got physical buff on the Porygon every single time. Not only that, he got physical buff on Porygon the turn I Strength Sap, meaning I healed way more with my Corsola than I should have. Following this, he is choiced, and every single time this Kingdra hit my Corsola, he got disabled. Every time the Porygon 2 hit the Corsola and wasn't already disabled, he got disabled. And he just very much got... He didn't get outplayed, he got out RNG'd. It feels bad. You know, we got in a voice after we talked about it. We had a good laugh about just how incredibly unfortunate the circumstances were. But yeah, just watching this live here, just looking back on it, it is really more unfortunate in hindsight than it really was to me in the moment. The novelty is not worn off. The novelty of him getting hit with it every time. I didn't think it mattered at the end of it that much, but like I look back on it, and yeah, it totally mattered. It made just a massive difference. In fact, there were a lot of situations he would have probably won if he didn't get hit with Cursed Body every time. My Corsola would have been dead a lot earlier, which would have led to my Slowbro dying a little. I think Dragapult still probably pulled it out at the end. I'm actually adamant that Dragapult still would pull it out at the end, just because of how fast it is. Because I could sack Slowbro, bring in Dragapult, I get a kill, then sack Charizard, bring in Dragapult, I get a kill, bring in Dragapult, I get a kill. He had like 3 mons left at the point where it mattered. But man, it was just so bad that happened. So I do feel really bad about the RNG, but you know, the game do be like that sometimes. Good game still, and he played well. He just got RNG'd. And it was actually, you can see right here, it was at the point where he was actually convinced that it wasn't even RNG because he hit it, because it happened every time. He's like, wait, this wasn't RNG, it's RNG? Yeah, we're talking here. He's like, yeah, my Sparring RNG is killing it. It's at the point where he's like, yeah, this is probably about it. And it's just, we're at the end, he's like, he's RNG, because it seemed like every time it wasn't, and then yeah, it's like, it was really unfortunate, but you know, good games to him. Next week we play against Enrique, who I've been helping prep. If you guys want to see me commentate over the other matches, I could. I think I'd prefer to leave that to them though, the players, if they want to commentate and upload anything over their matches, but that's this week's Shmokemon Draft League. Thank you all for watching, and have yourselves a good one.